Hello everyone, Martin Musial here from Generative.net. Last week was very intense in terms of AI advancements. That's why I condensed it again very much for you with the most interesting, most key, most directive stories for you so that you are set up for the upcoming week. Number one, Google has launched Gemini Advanced. There is no more BART. Second, Sam Altman is seeking for up to $7 trillion for creating AI chips. Number three, OpenAI is, besides many other things, focusing on multi-AI agents. Number four, AI learns object recognition and language basically from infant point of view footage. Super interesting and also not as data hungry. Five, we have one more Apple Vision Pro app. There are more, but this is a topic, that is a topic by itself, so not too much attention here. And number six, there is a great tool, the ElevenLabs GPT for you to use very quickly. So as I said, Google has announced or has launched the Gemini. BART is also called now Gemini. I can quickly show you. If I click on BART, it shows me, wow, it's now Gemini. It also has launched Gemini Advanced, unfortunately not in Germany, otherwise I would have had it already. Gemini Advanced has the model called Gemini Ultra 1.0. This is the letter by Sundar Pichai and Demis Hassabis. And here they are teasing the models, and Gemini Ultra is, according to the benchmarks that they have shown here, stronger than GPT-4. So in some multitasking language understanding benchmark, it is up to 90%, while GPT-4 is 86.4%. Looking down here, so chain of thought for Gemini Ultra, they have used their GPT-4 scores 87, so slightly better than here 5-shot. It has apparently very strong reasoning capabilities. In this drop one, it's a bit stronger. Hella swag, GPT-4 wins. And yes, and a bigger win in coding in the human eval 0-shot benchmark. That is a very strong indication. And this is in fact also what they are advertising in the video, that it is very strong in coding. Then we have also multimodal, performs image, it understands video and audio. Yeah, it is extremely good. And what I also found, lastly, what I found very, very interesting is the coding video. Perhaps I can run it very quickly. What I found very interesting is how good it is in solving problems. Let's see the following demonstration by the Google team. And by the way, we have to take it a little bit with a grain of salt because the initial video from Google regarding Gemini was mostly fake. But this seems to be pretty legit.
In action on one of the hardest problems that we faced. And I say hard because in the original contest in which the problem appeared, less than 0.2% of participants actually solved it. The problem is quite difficult. It's very abstract, so I can't get into too many details, but the basic gist of it is that we are tasked with computing aggregate statistics that account for what appears to be an impossibly large amount of random errors. The really cool thing is that to solve it, AlphaCode 2 makes use of dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is an advanced algorithmic technique which basically simplifies a complicated problem by breaking it down into easier subproblems again and again. And what's really impressive is that not only AlphaCode 2 knows how to properly implement this strategy, but also when and where to use it.
So yeah, this is that, and I'm very, very curious to get my hands on it and try out a couple of things, and then I'll give a report. Next is that Sam Altman has announced that he is looking for a $5 to $7 trillion investment for an upcoming chip company, which is almost 10% of the global GDP. No one ever has raised so much money ever, and is supposed to tackle the GPU shortage and also then most likely tackle or challenge NVIDIA in its pole position here. This also aligns with Biden's administration commitment to the semiconductor research and development arm, where they wanted to invest $5 billion. Speaking of OpenAI, OpenAI is also now focusing on the multi-AI agents. What does this mean? What does AI agents mean? These are AI agents, language models that perform tasks for the user. So let's assume you take a simple task, or like some task, code this web page for me, which fetches the top 10 news on x.com and displays them. Then you would have an agent that first of all spawns its team, multiple agents. Yeah, that's where the multi comes from. One agent for the front-end development, one agent for the back-end development, one agent that is for testing, another agent that is orchestrating everything, maybe another agent that performs the the quality assurance of all of it, so it really matches what has been asked. And in that sense, these agents are really like digital AI co-workers for you. The interesting thing is that it has not been really announced in a big way or made some advertisement around that. So I assume because it's still very much a research heavy project. And if we look on their documentation, we see that they are talking about assistance API and then how they work and how to create assistants. And then, they have like sort of different roles, like create 3 data visualizations based on trends in this file, for instance. Yeah. And so this is why it is in the documentation, but no big announcement. Probably they want to keep it a little bit under the radar, but it's also not a simple project to perform. As I wrote here, it's from multiple sources. If you take multiple sources into account, you can see that they have actually a quite sophisticated approach and very research heavy, where they on one hand apply the proximal policy optimization, in this multi-agent and multi-agent deep deterministic policy gradients, MADDPG, to train these agents in the most effective manner. It's quite fascinating, where all of this is going. There is also AutoGen and there was AutoGPT, and then there was Super AI. Yeah, so there are a couple of these agents already, mostly open source. But I think what is interesting is to see, okay, where is all of this actually going? If we are taking a look at Meta and Google and also the S&P 500, they are reaching all times high, while they at the same time have reduced their staff, right? Because they are much more effective because of AI. So how do we balance actually these productivity gains with these societal impacts and how to do it best? And that's why I'm very curious to hear what you think. Should it go via rescaling programs? Should it be via AI human collaboration, to promote it in a way? Of course, the answer is not black and white. There are maybe to a degree everything is right. Regulatory oversight could be the main answer, or is it income redistribution, or is it even something else that is not mentioned here? If you vote on the newsletter, you have also the option to write a comment. I'm very interested in what you think, and let's see. And then I'm very happy to share that with the community again. The next story is super interesting. Why? Because one big problem that we are facing is that AI models are super, super data hungry, right? We have to train them basically on the whole World Wide Web or all available information, ideally multiple times, so that they pick up these immersion capabilities. However, researchers have found from the NYU, the New York University, that as we humans train, AI models can also train. They have done it with this cute baby here, where they have mounted this camera on top of it, and as it has learned the nouns of the through the video stream, through its eyes, and also through sound, as someone told the kid what certain objects are, a mug or a teddy bear and so forth. The AI model has picked it up in the same fashion. The interesting thing about this is that the AI was basically not overloaded with lots of data, but really, really little data and very limited in data, and still picked up the right clues. It's of course much more immersive learning experience, as it's multimodal for the AI model. But this could be the answer for really, really sophisticated AI models going strongly also towards AGI, where data and computational powers are the bottleneck. So this informs the model making, model architecture building, and is super, super interesting and helpful for even stronger AI models. Basically another leverage. Then I would like to take a very quick moment, because the last year I was writing thousands of hours on my book, and roughly 1,000 hours. And it is about time that it's you can pre-order it to get the hard copy, and you can also get already the Kindle version. However, I think I recommend the hard copy. It's being back to how we used to read for thousands of years. But of course, feel free to buy also the Kindle version, and I highly recommend it. Maybe a couple of things. What is in the book? So first of all, as you see here, can I zoom in? You see here, I'm first talking about the AI in a nutshell, having a smooth transition into AI. Innovative approaches for high quality data generation. It was not possible with all AI models. It had to be very much, it needed bright researchers, brilliant minds, and lots of iterations to really get there where we are. The third chapter is about the broad spectrum. So what is the current state of the art, or the current point of view from generative AI? Yeah, it's not only text generation, it's also image generation, it is 3D object generation, it is whole world, video generation, synthetic data of all sorts in order to improve other models. There is a lot that we cover here in the application fields. And also I'm highlighting what are the untapped potentials in this space. Unfortunately, I only have one timeline, so I would definitely have a couple of startup ideas. Then I am talking about why generative AI is happening actually now, and it's a lot about the exponential growth from the technological perspective. I spent a full chapter 5, on the ethical concerns as well as the societal implications of generative AI. Yeah, what about intellectual property of the generative AI platform? What about bias and fairnesses? What about misinformation? What about privacy, safety, and security? What about generative AI's impact on the job and the industry as a whole? And one fact that many people oversee very quickly is that we tend to be very dependent on AI. One example is learning to code. I still had to learn to code. How the next generation of developers will need that and will do that is a little bit of a mystery. Maybe they don't even need it, but there are some dependencies that I have uncovered. Of course, we have to also talk about the environmental concerns, and then from the basically governmental side, the AI oversight versus the industry self-regulation in these terms. Again, this has to come from two sides, and they have to meet somewhere in the middle. But I'm definitely ending here on a positive note, because I see there is a lot. The world has never been so, on one hand, divided, but then also trying to really find a middle ground. It has a very good feeling, and I'm observing lots of positive conversations here from the sides of from politics as well as from the industry. And then chapter 6 is all about where the technology is going, especially the path is on the way to artificial general intelligence, and we are also talking about autonomous AI agents, even robots, and that the human potential is not taken away from AI. AI is not taking any potential away from us. It's actually boundless because of what we can do with AI. There are many people that supported me along the process. I'm very happy that some of them also left a very nice note. I just leave it here. Yeah, I would also like to show one Apple Vision Pro application from Medivis for surgeons, and they can basically have a much more immersive way to look at scans and images. And I think this is just one of really, really many applications that we can see, and great ideas that we can see in order to really provide the best medical treatment and the best services and the best products and product developments. To finish this episode, I would like to show in a short demo quickly how to build an audiobook or a podcast version with the ElevenLabs GPT. And we would also just cite it via the @ sign. So I have done it with with one story of the newsletter from how the AI learns through the eyes of a child, and then I entered ElevenLabs. As I said, basically take the following text and create an audiobook. Then I added ElevenLabs, basically with @ and then it asked me for the narrator. I said 2, it's a classic female narrator, and here I can listen to it.
NYU's new AI learning approach draws from a child's perspective, utilizing multimodal inputs captured by a head-mounted camera to mimic a child's daily visual and auditory experiences. The system, equipped with vision and text encoders.
Okay, so I think this is really of good quality. Maybe I'll even give ElevenLabs a try for some educational content. But yeah, this is great so far. And with that, I'd like to conclude. Yeah, that's me, basically. I was skiing last week, and it was 11 degrees plus in the Alps, which is quite abnormal. You start sweating. So I just nosedived into the snow. Not as much with intention as it sounds like. It was rather with a high velocity, decision by my skis. But it was fun anyways. Thank you so much for reading. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.